Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special collection showcase we're going to be looking at the entire run of Hasbro. So that's the whole collection again, just of Hasbro minibots. These were the ones that were released through series 1, 2 and 3, so that's from 1984 to 1986. I am lucky enough to have a couple of different types of other variants that I'm going to briefly touch on and show you, but as a disclaimer, I am disclaiming right now that I do not have the entire collection of minibots and all their different variants in different colours that have been released down the years. That would be insane. Don't get me wrong, I'd love it, but I haven't unfortunately got that. So in a second I'm going to be picking up the camera because I've got some cards down there which also have some subtle differences, and then as I've just mentioned at the top as well, we've got some of the rarer or more strange, so we say, variants of these particular figures. So right, so while the camera's here and we can just see about to see everything on the top shelf. In fact, no, let's go straight into it then. So series 1 was 1984, and some of these I've only got one of, as you can see. So in 1984 we've got Brawn, and then we've got Bumblebee. We've got the red and the yellow Bumblebee. Both were released. These are all official Hasbro releases. And then I'm only going to briefly mention this as well, but this is the pre-rub version of Bumblebee, and whereas the others all had the rub sign straight after. So the initial release of figures, some of the ones in 1984 were what's known as pre-rub, and if you're wondering what that is, it's basically the fact that they've got normal stickers on them instead of the rub signs. So moving over to the one that's got two colours as well, and ironically enough I've only got one of him in red, which is Cliff Jumper, and then we've got his yellow version as well. We've then got Gears, we've then got Huffer, we've got Wind Charger, and then we've got a rare one there as well. I think this one's Bumper or Bumble Jumper, and I'm going to be discussing him briefly in a second as well. We will come to the carded ones in a minute because, as you can see, we've got a few different versions of Huffer there as well. Right, moving down to what was series 2, we've got Beachcomber, we've got Cosmos, Powerglide, Sea Spray and Warpath. There is two versions of Warpath there. One is known as the bearded version, which is the guy closest to the camera, because you can see his, I suppose it's his mouth visor is all black, whereas the normal Warpath, it's the optics which are black. So he's known as the bearded one. Again, these are known variants. And then we're moving on to series 3, which was 1986, and we've got Hubcap, we've got Outback, and Outback was the interesting one because he was the only one that really came with an accessory, and that is this little gun. And it does, obviously, as you can see, come off, and it will just rest in the back when it's in robot mode. We've got pipes, we've got swerve, we've got tailgate, and we've got everybody's favourite, or not so favourite, wheelie. While I'm just down here quickly at the bottom, these unfortunately don't have sealed figures inside, but it's just a variant I want to show you. So this was a release with the white border, and then this is again a sealed one there, and that's got a silver or grey border as they're known. So there's so many different variants. There's a collector called, I think it's Bill Fratiti, and I hope I've said that right, and there's Jerome Meester as well. There's minibot groups on Facebook, and some of the things you'll see are absolutely mind-blowing. So there's both Bumblebees. You can see that they carded the red Bumblebee on there as well as the yellow, and there we've got a Cliff Jumper as well. Right, I'm going to pop this here just so we can have a look at some of the packaging. This was an idea, to be honest, by mainly my Instagram people. They wanted to see, I suppose, all of the minibots out in a line like that, because we're getting some really good updates of these figures now. Right, so in fact, let's go and have a look at the Antex ones first and foremost. But before we do so, for those of you unaware, and again, I'm confessing right now that I'm not a huge expert on these. So the Antex ones are these ones at the top here. So these are also referred to as your South American minibots. There were two companies. There was Antex, which are these, and you can see you've got the logo there, and the other one was Estrella, and that was the Brazilian variant. And what you can see is you've got the very famous and very recognizable characters, but they're all completely different colors. And this is quite a strange one as well, because poor old little Wind Charger here, the blue version, you can see he's actually broken, but he's still sealed. And the only other versions that I've actually seen of this card ever, funnily enough, they've been broken inside the package, inside the bubble. So it gives you a bit of an idea of the quality of the companies that were making this. I wish I could just show you, or you could see just how flimsy this card is. It feels thinner than like a birthday card. It's so fragile. So we've got two different coloured wind chargers. Then we've got a red Bumblebee, which we know is normal anyway, but it's nice to see it there. If you notice, they're calling wind charger Camaro, and then Bumblebee they're calling Volks. And then we've got Cliff Jumper. We've got the green one sealed, and then we've got the white one loose. And believe you me, these, I mean, they've got orange ones, they've got gold, they've got silver. You can see pretty much there on the top there's a silver Bumblebee. The amount of different variants of these out is crazy. It's stunning. It's really, it's a rabbit hole. It's very expensive to get into, but completely mind-blowing. It's so good to have a look at them. What I'm going to do now, I want to quickly just show you Bumble Jumper. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the three different versions of huffer that I've got, because these were one's a Canadian release, and two of them, one is an actual miscard, and they are both from Greco, which was a Greek company that made them as well. So let's quickly just grab Bumble Jumper. So again, this was released by Hasbro. It was packaged, we only believe, on Cliff Jumper cards, because there's still some sealed examples of these. And yeah, this was a figure that never should have really been released. So he's commonly known as either Bumper or Bumble Jumper, purely because I suppose he's a mix of the two. He's got a different head sculpt completely. And yeah, he's a completely different vehicle. But yeah, these did manage to sneak out. You can see you got the stamp there, Takara Co, etc. These did manage to sneak out, and they were packed, as we're aware anyway, on Cliff Jumper cards. No actual known proof that they were packed on Bumblebee cards. If that ever came out, that'd be amazing. So there we go. This again was released by Hasbro at the time. I'm going to very quickly again, because I just whizzed past it, but just show you the two variants of the cards with sea spray. So you've got the white border and then the silver border. Now we might as well have a look at the back of this while we're here. We've got the 1985 battle scene, obviously, because this is series 2. Lovely little battle scene. Let's have a look on the Bumblebee, see if the Bumblebee's got an original. Now, although the Bumblebee is a Chinese reissue, it still came out in 1990. So it still made generation 1, and yeah, there we go. We've got the same battle scene anyway, and we've got the additional safety sticker on the back. Right, so now let's have a look at, I suppose these can be quite interesting, because again, they're different variants. I'm going to carefully, I didn't think of this as I was setting up for the video. I wanted to be able to get to the huffers. So what we've got here, I'm lucky enough to have 3 different types of sealed huffers. Oops. And so this one is one that people may have seen before. This is a Canadian variant, and they've changed his name there. Grognon, is it? I don't even know. I'm not even going to attempt to say that, but there is your Canadian huffer. Again, G1 released as normal, but just in Canada. There's just your instructions on the back. And then these ones here are quite interesting, because these are made by a company called Greco. And again, that's just basically the Greek toy company that was making Transformers at the time. Now you can see there's a big difference in this. He's got his red eyes. He's got a much darker plastic. And of course, it's in a different language. But the other interesting thing is the back's totally different. We've got a completely different battle scene. And then we've got, they were all the ones that were available in Greece under the Greco toy company. So not all of the minibots, just them particular ones there. But then very similar to, I suppose, your South American companies like IGA. Mexico made a few errors, and clearly Antex, etc. This one's quite crazy, actually. So you can see this is clearly supposed to be brawn. And again, this is still totally sealed. And that's a huffer. So that's a miscarded Greco huffer on a brawn card. So there you go, guys. A little bit off the cuff. I know people sometimes just like to see the Hasbro thing. Some people like to see just the variants. So I just thought I'd mix some of these together. Just pan it back out for you. But there you go. Yeah, in total. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from series 1, 2, 4, 5 from series 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from series 3. They are in entirety your complete Hasbro mini bot collection. Hope you enjoyed looking at them. If any of you've got any crazy variants and anything, or you'd like to show me, On my Instagram, it is toys_r_us. I do love looking at them. They are amazing. If you'd like to see any for yourself, there's brilliant Facebook groups. Like there's a minibot collectors group on Facebook. Yeah, some of the things on there are mind-blowing. So anyway, hope you enjoyed looking at this. Hope it helped you with your quest for your collections, etc. And hope you enjoyed looking at them. So, oh, I forgot. Damn, I didn't show you this one. I'm rushing ahead. I do apologise. We've got Hubcap here. And this is a Hong Kong variant. There we go. So you can see it's got the Hong Kong language at the top. Most people are probably going to miss this now because they think I was finishing the video off and they've just skipped off to the end. So that's your Hong Kong variant of Hubcap. And then these are official Hasbro. There's Outback. But it's got a free iron-on reflective patch. What's on the back of this one? Oh, no, same battle scene, even though it's a year later. And then finally, we've got a sealed tailgate. There we go. Have a quick look at the back of that. Same picture, same basic transformation on the back. Right, there we go then, guys. I'm going to wrap it up now, definitely. So there is the Series 1, 2 and 3 Hasbro Minibots. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment. And don't forget to subscribe.